All right, so it is Wednesday and we are hitting an upper body workout. This is a workout that we were supposed to hit yesterday. However, yesterday was kind of a colossal failure, I'm not gonna lie. It was just one of those days where nothing went the way you wanted to. The day started yesterday at 6:38 a.m. That's when I woke up. Now, if you know me, you know that I go to jiu-jitsu at 6 a.m. 6:38 a.m., if we're doing math, is later than 6 a.m. I looked at my phone and my alarm was going off, but for some reason it was silent. So I opened up ChatGPT and I said, hey, why is my alarm going off, but it's silent? And it said, well, there's a volume slider in your settings for ringers and alerts. And that slider, not the main volume slider, was all the way down. So as a result, my alarm effectively did not go off. Well then, I did about 4 to 5 hours of work and was later told that I did not need to do that work. Okay. Then my wife had an appointment, a physical therapy appointment at 3:15. That is during my open mat. So I didn't get to go to open mat either. Usually I go to 6 a.m. class and then 4:30 open mat. But she had that appointment, so on any other day it'd be totally fine because I'd go to jiu-jitsu in the morning and then I'd lift in the afternoon instead. But of course, I didn't go to jiu-jitsu in the morning and that appointment ended up being more than 2 hours. By the time we got home, it was dinner time, then bedtime for the kids. And because we're trying to sleep more and recover more, if I started lifting weights, it would have eaten into my sleeping time. And then to top it all off, I had no footage of the day because I wasn't planning to do any of the things that I ended up actually doing. So I was sitting on my bed and I was just like, you know what? Today's a colossal failure. It just is what it is. Sometimes those days are gonna happen. You're gonna have colossal failure days where nothing goes the way you want. You don't get anything that you want done, even though you tried to do everything that you could. And it just is what it is. You're gonna try again tomorrow. And so here we are. I went to jiu-jitsu earlier and I actually filmed a clip in the car going to jiu-jitsu, but of course, I forgot to plug the microphone in. So we're just on a roll the last 24 hours, 36 hours. And then I got to jiu-jitsu and the only other person there was a 260-pound man, and we worked takedowns in the gi with a separated shoulder. If you had asked me any day before today and you said, hey Matt, what would be the worst jiu-jitsu class that you could possibly go to? I would say, give me that 270-pound guy, separate my shoulder, only do takedowns, and make it in the gi. That would have been my answer. And so that's what I experienced today. And now we're lifting, so this entire vlog is probably just gonna be this back workout, just so I have something to post. And then hopefully tomorrow we have a better day. By the way, that was a PR on Bent Over Row just now. We're gonna go for another one. I track my workouts in the Heavy app, H-E-V-Y, and I copied the workouts and pasted it into ChatGPT, and I was like, hey, are these workouts kind of conducive for muscle growth? Are they optimal for muscle growth and muscle retention? It was like, nah, you're kind of doing too much volume. You're kind of fatiguing yourself out for no reason. What I would do is go heavier, longer rest periods, focus the most amount of energy on the beginning of the workout, and then let the rest kind of be accessories, right? And so that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to focus on, the compound movements. This is the only upper body compound movement I can truly do right now at a heavy weight. All the rest are super lightweight. I can, the shoulder, obviously. So I'm trying to get a little smarter about my workouts so that they are more conducive to what we're trying to do. I just like to do a lot of reps. I like to be pumped up. I like to do that, but I don't know that that is conducive to what we're trying to do because it doesn't recruit as many muscle fibers. It doesn't create the nervous system signals to retain and build muscle. So we got to push the weight.
Just give us a few minutes. We'll be around, okay? Don't feel bad.
I'm trying to land between like 6 and 10 reps. I've also never used straps before. I just ordered these today, which is kind of silly because, I've been lifting weights for 10 years pretty much, and I've never used straps. And they definitely do make it easier to lift a lot of weight. What we've been doing for our heaviest set on Bent Over Row is 115. And I'm about to do 165. We just did 145 and 155 for 10. So that kind of shows you how much I haven't been pushing the weight. I just slapped on 40 pounds essentially and did a similar number of reps. I'm listening to like a murder documentary in the background because that's kind of what I do. I'm a little crazy. My wife hates it.
House, so that you wouldn't have to see it. With Gregory clear, investigators had to move on to the next development was on that same Thursday.
All right, that was 8. That's pretty good.
He covered her with blankets and left her there. Matthew later ran and put her into another car.
I mean, I'm just asking you.
So if there's any doubt that he's insane, this could show that he's likely not entirely insane. This isn't a totally conscious process, of course, because people can't consciously erase something from memory.
It's requiring a lot of discipline to not just completely spaz out and just try to get the most insane pump that I can. Because typically what I want to do is I just want to exhaust the muscle. Again, it's that mentality of more is better that I'm trying to get away from. So having these long rest periods and not sweating as much and doing fewer exercises per workout is kind of hard.
Matthew seems to like the attention and passion he's receiving from the detective, the psychologist. Treating him.
So for context, last time I did this, I did 30 pounds. I don't count the bar weight because I really don't know what it weighs. I have to go get the scale and weigh it and everything. So I just do what's on the side plates. So I did 30, which is a 10 and a 5 on each side. And I just did 40 for the same amount of reps. I'm about to add a 5. So again, that kind of just shows you how I was prioritizing volume and pump instead of weight and intensity.
Severe trauma and mental defect. The detective realized he must take some sort of action to get rid of Matthew and ask the other interrogator to step out. Be aware of his own impulsivity. Perhaps he doesn't trust what he might do at a moment of impulse. The detective took Matthew to a restroom just down the hall from the
I'm starting to feel all the muscles around my AC joint, like my trap, the backside of my shoulder here, my rear delt, some of these front shoulder muscles, like starting to lock up almost. Like it's not super painful. It doesn't make it impossible to do these things. And it's not a type of pain I'm worried about. It's just kind of annoying. All right, that was last set of bicep curls. Now we're gonna move on to hammer curls. Okay, let's try the 30s first. Camera angle sucks. This vlog's not gonna be fancy. It's literally just gonna be this. So if you're not interested in it, turn away now.
find out about.
But I will tell you this. Okay. If you
Wasn't too heavy. I feel like we can go to 35. Oh yeah, that's the right weight right there.
The detective reiterates Matthew's.
Yeah, that's a good weight for that. All right, last exercise, we're going to tricep rope push down. Man, I can't wait for this shoulder to be better. It is so annoying. It is so annoying. And it's just funny thinking back, right? Like 5 years ago, you can go look at the videos. Like that guy would have been like, yes, I got an injury. I have an actual legitimate reason to take some time off, to not do my workout, to not do the things that I need to do. That would have been my golden ticket to just be a fucking loser. And I truly haven't had any sort of injury, anything that had taken me off the mat or taken me out of the gym. So it's just funny now how, having been training so consistently for so long and seeing the difference that it's had in my life, and actually having the discipline and the desire to be in the gym and doing these things, getting an injury goes from being my golden ticket to sit on the couch where nobody's gonna blame me for doing it. Everyone's gonna be like, how's your shoulder? Are you doing all right? Blah, blah, blah. To where now it's like, I don't want a shoulder injury. I wanna do as close to the normal thing that I would do otherwise as I possibly can. Probably past a point that is reasonable. And unfortunately, this injury is the first one since maybe high school, playing basketball, where I sprayed my ankle pretty severely. This is kind of the first real injury in a real long time. And man, I'm over it. I'm ready to do some bench press. I'm ready to roll without thinking about my shoulder. I'm ready to focus on getting stronger and bigger. So annoying. That was too light. That was too light. It's so funny because the last upper body workout, had I done those tricep extensions and done 12 exactly like that and felt the exact same, I'd think, that's all right. I'll just do more sets. But now that I'm limiting myself to 3 sets, I think, 3 or 4 sets, let me double check that, 3 sets. Now that I'm limiting myself to 3 sets, I have to squeeze as much intensity into those 3 sets as I possibly can. If I felt that first one and I was like, well, that wasn't enough, it was work, but it wasn't enough, I would just do 4 or 5 sets. I'm not even opposed to a 6th set. I just want to burn the shit out. But now that I'm understanding the concept of what it takes to actually build the muscle, because everything that I have now is truly just a consequence of genetics and like lifestyle. In my 10 years of working out, I have bulked, like truly bulked. And I'm not on a bulk right now, but like I'm trying to get in the bulking mindset because I'm gonna be bulking probably 2 months from now, once this cut's over. And by the way, I'm not thinking about this in terms like bulking and cutting cycles. I think of this as just like getting lean so I have the wiggle room to build muscle without gaining too much fat. Because that's really what I'm after right now, is more size and more strength long-term, better performance long-term. The leanness is just allowing me to do that without getting to 25% body fat. So it's not really about getting lean. It's about performance long-term. It's about setting myself up for a 9 to 12 month lean bulking phase. And I've never done that before. I've never done a true bulk. The most effort that I've put into gaining muscle was when I was 21. Everything that I've gained since is just a byproduct of doing the things that I do. Like what you see here is not the result of focusing on gaining muscle or focusing on gaining strength. What you see here is just kind of genetically filling out. And basically, because I've been fighting body fat my entire adulthood, I've kind of always been in a cutting phase. I've either been gaining too much body fat because I'm kind of being a loser or trying to cut down. And so never have I been so lean to the point where I'm like, okay, I need to start building muscle now. It's getting too bright. It's always been, man, I'm getting fat. Now I gotta cut down. And then I lose momentum on the cut, gain whatever 10 pounds that I just cut back, and then I repeat that cycle over and over again. Yeah, I'm lifting throughout it. Yeah, I'm doing jujitsu throughout it. Yeah, I'm walking throughout it. I'm doing things throughout it, but it hasn't been this intense focus on, okay, I'm gonna get stronger. I'm gonna gain more muscle. It's always just been, when am I gonna stop having more fat than I want? And truly, this past summer, I kind of got to that point. I was maybe 5 pounds or so away from being truly shredded. And then, of course, I just lost momentum. I went up north, I went on vacation, I came back home, and I just kind of sat around maintenance for a while. Had a few days of a surplus, and that's kind of all it takes to gain 5 pounds over the course of, 4 or 5 months. So I'm kind of trying to get back to that level of leanness that I was at during the summer, and then a little bit more. And then I'm gonna be in that muscle building phase for a substantial amount of time. Now bringing it all the way back to these tricep extensions, because I'm now sort of understanding the concepts of what optimal strength building workouts look like, I now have to limit myself in terms of the volume and increase the intensity to get what I'm trying to get out of it. So all that being said, let's get this in because I've been talking too much. And again, that feels a little light for me. But that's what's funny about it is I haven't done 60 pounds on the tricep extension. Normally I do either 55 or 50 or 45, just looking at this app here. And I just did 60. So now here I am, I got 1 set left, and I feel I can go even heavier. We're gonna go 65. This would be 70, actually. We're gonna go 70. Screw it, we're here. All right, this is the last set of the workout, so we gotta push it. If I can get 8 out of this, I'll be impressed with myself. 5. Oh man, this is heavy. 6. Oh yeah. I'm gonna bring it down. But hey, man, at least we're bringing it to failure. Yeah, okay. Hey, we brought it to failure. We're gonna call that 74.6. I think I did 6 like okay reps and then did some bullshit at the end, but all right, that was that workout. If I got something else for you, I'll see you in the next clip. If not, then I'll see you in the next video.